Yo, what is up, my friends? It's Big Simp, and I've got some exciting news for you. This past weekend, past couple of days, these past 4 days, we have gotten round 1 of the Ultimate 120 Star Relay finished. 8 teams total, 40 players in grand total. And it was pretty boppin', to say the least. There was a lot of crazy stuff that happened, a lot of clocks, a lot of fun, and yeah. So I'm going to give you a little run through of basically what happened. But first, you might be wondering what a relay is. Well, a relay, at least a 120-star relay, is a 120-star run cut into however many pieces there are per player, if that makes sense. So each team has 5 players, so there's 5 pieces of the 120-star run that each player completes. The segments are as follows. Segment 1 is BOB Bomb Clip Star, Womp's Fortress, Aquarium, JRB, 1 Princess Peach Slide, Wingcap Star, Dark World, CCM, and then at the end of CCM, the next player would come in for segment 2, which is First MIPS, SSL, HMC, Basement, Toadstar, LLL, Second MIPS, basically all of Basement, and Vanish Cap. Then it's passed on to the next player to do segment 3, which is BBH, DDD, Fire C, Peach's other secret slide star, the rest of BOB, and then segment 4 comes in once they touch the key door. Segment 4, Wet Dry World, THI, Toadstar, upstairs, TTM, and then they trade off, and the last segment is SL, Cloud Stage, TTC, and Rainbow Ride, and of course Bits, finishing with the final star, coming together to add up to 5 total segments. Starting off the Ultimate 120 Star Relay, the first match was Team D Whatever versus Team Paracusia. So Wilco starting off for Team Para and Joel starting off for Team Whatever. Joel seemed to start off a little bit nervous, and I mean, when there's a $500 prize for first place, $200 for second place, who wouldn't be? Had some clam loving action in JRB, and also lost some time in the other stages in his segment. Wilco had a few slip-ups, but overall much more consistent, giving Team Paracusia a pretty nice head start going into segment 2. Paracusia takes over for Wilco for Basement, and Karen takes over for Joel. Paracusia, and definitely rising star in 120 star, played super good, very consistent, got HMC Toxic Maze BLJ, barely messed up, and same with Karen. Super consistent, but Team Para keeps the lead that they had from segment 1. Segment 3. Saxdale takes over for Paracusia, and Tabas takes over for Karen. Saxdale factoried, RIP. It's going to happen, you know. It's bound to happen in one of these things, and it happened. Tabascoth played very consistent, pretty spicy looking movement to say the least.
Going for the runaround instead of the kick, a little bit faster in the acceleration here, but a bad angle. Oh, walk! Wait,
where's this come from?
Wait a second.
Team D Whatever was finally picking up some steam, catching up, almost tied going into upstairs. Worm took over for Team D Whatever, and Carlos Giratina jumps for Team Paracusia. Worm, even with his old 202 emulator PB, showed off his skills, played damn well, pulled ahead of Carlos, who seemed to have a little bit of trouble, but nothing too crazy. Going into the Tippy segment, D Whatever takes over for Worm, and Cobra takes over for Carlos. Worm had given his team a pretty nice lead. D Whatever, even playing quite sloppy, he's a very fast man with a lot of skill, a very beautiful man, was consistent enough to keep the lead and get the win. Cobra didn't play too bad, only fell down in TTC 100. It had a small death in the beginning of Rainbow Ride, but just could not catch up. The lead was too strong.
D's taking a fall here as well.
Yeah, a little bit of time lost there. Oh, Cobra, no, falling down. Oh, is he alive? Is he alive? No, wait. He's alive. He's alive. Oh my lord.
At the bottom though, he could not have fallen.
Oh my lord. He's alive though.
Oh, Kobe.
I thought he was dead for sure.
Team D whatever takes the win over Team Paracusia with a pretty strong lead. GG. Day 2, Team Liam Kings versus Team Weege. Kopitz was on Team Liam for Segment 1, and Rock Chalk was on Segment 1 for Team Weege. Now, in the beginning here, Kopitz is not a 120 star player. He does a lot of 70. He's pretty good at 70. Got kind of pooped on in Womps. Womps was a little bit saucy for him, and it looked pretty bleak for Team Liam right off the bat. But Rock Chalk had quite a moment in Segment 1. He almost died to the eel 2 different times, and he died in Dark World, and Kopitz had the lead up until Snowman's star in CCM. Kopitz was not able to redirect the Snowman's body to the Snowman's head, and it just went past, losing him his lead, and Team Ouija leading into basement. We'll have an exclusive edition.
The speedrun book on stream. Nice.
I actually took a class on speed. Oh, Kopitz, the Snowman! Not following his lead. What?
Well,
Liam takes over for Kopitz. Flippio taking over for Rock Chalk. Both of them with a bit of a sloppy SSL. Liam really struggled to get pillarless and had a very rough 100 coin star beginning. And as the captain of the team, not looking too hot. Flippy died in the beginning of SSL Reds, but was still ahead until Vanish Cap, where he took a spill. And at this point, at the end of Segment 2, grabbing the Vanish Cap star, both teams were pretty much tied up. Drogi for Team Liam and Zion for Team Ouija in Segment 3. Drogi played pretty well overall, but he died in Fire Sea, got trapped under one of the platforms. So sad. R.I.P.
It's for a different movement at the end here.
And looking pretty good. Oh no, Drogi!
Oh my lord!
Wow.
That is unfortunate.
So Fire Sea kind of took him for a ride, but Zion had a lot of hiccups, especially in DDD 100. Didn't look too comfortable with his segment, leaving Team Ouija behind by about 3 minutes going upstairs. Savlo taking over upstairs for Team Liam, and JJ taking over for Team Ouija in Segment 4. Savlo only really messing up during TTM. It was pretty solid gameplay throughout the entire upstairs. JJ as well, pretty solid. No big mistakes. So Team Ouija still at this point quite a bit behind going upstairs. But this is where things get spicy. Ouija takes over for Team Ouija, and Gamiro takes over for Team Liam in in Tippy. Ouija's PC crashed when he started and had a delayed start, starting right about when Gamiro fell off of the cloud stage and was still an entire SL behind. Remember, Segment 5 is not just Tippy, it also includes SL. Gamiro had some very shaky movement in TTC and Rainbow Ride 100. He missed the blue coins twice and decided to get different stars both times, which lost him a lot of time, but still ahead going into Sky. Ouija slowly caught up. He stayed on point, stayed focused, had a pretty solid TTC and Rainbow Ride, and there was just a lot of sauce spillage at Sky from both sides. Ouija died in the beginning. He's behind going into Sky. Died in the beginning, but Gamiro also fell down. But it comes down to throws, and Ouija clutches it in the end for his team, netting them the win in round 1, advancing on to the semifinals. Missing the red, missed the blue. Oh no, Gamiro! He's pausing. He knows what's at stake. He knows what's happening.
Situation.
Ooh, Gamiro wanted Black to bounce.
As it develops.
So he still has these long stars left, but Gamiro wasn't able to get. Oh, ground pound.
Okay, side football kick.
No
wall kick though.
Panicking.
No leg trap.
Gamiro die, bro. I'll take it. Raise your clocks for Gamiro. You want to give him the power, but Ouija, very powerful. 2 glitchy wall kicks in a row.
So,
Ouija falling in bits.
Gamiru now in a pretty safe position. Could acquire the W for Team Liam here.
It's not over. It's not over yet. You know.
Oh, okay.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet, guys.
Gamiru also
moving
falling.
right side because of the 16 star experience. Oh my.
There he goes.
Lord,
Right back up.
Oh my lord.
Let's see what Gamiru's got. Looking like he's going to be grabbing a 154 perhaps, but
Ooh,
first
that's
throw miss.
The first miss.
All right,
I mean,
Ouija coming in strong behind him here. Clocks, rage it in the chat. What is going to happen? Nobody knows.
Oh,
Missed throw, the clock.
Oh. Okay, let me see some clocks. I want to see some hype in chat. I want to see clocks from Bowser. Like, until the first Bowser's dead, all I want to see are clocks.
Okay, first throw, there he goes. Thank you for the gifted sub. Welcome to the club, Tama. 2 throws for Gamiru. Ouija now grabbing the tail. Can he get third throw? Okay, Ouija with his first throw. Gamiru missing his third throw, and now Ouija looking like he can sneak in and get the W for his team. Second throw. About to recapture Bowser. Gamiru getting hit, and if Ouija gets this, Ouija with 2 spin throws. Watching it for Team Liam. Oh,
You gotta be kidding me.
Clock!
Clock. Not scripted. Not scripted.
Team Liam unable to seal it. Gamiru throws a little too hard, hands a little too buttered up. Wow. Oh my goodness.
It really did come down to throws.
Next up, we had Team Milo versus Team Fantax. We had Mashy on Team Milo for segment 1 and JoJo for Team Fantax. Both of them got kind of slammed in Womps and JRB. JoJo died in CCM, giving Team Milo a pretty strong lead into Basement. Milo taking over for his team after Mash and Ikori for JoJo, and both players with a pretty nice SSL, but HMC kind of bopped them both. It was pretty gnarly. Elevator star. So, ooh, okay, Milo slipping. Oh no, falling down, doing. Wait.
Ikori save and quit out of HMC. At the same time, we see 2 massive mistakes. Ikori somehow managing to lose more time, though.
Yeah. Milo had a pretty nice lead, but he would make a mistake, and then Ikori would make a mistake right behind him. It was like they were mimicking each other. But ultimately, Ikori had a very solid LLL, and Milo, not so much. He also slipped up in VC. Ikori ultimately was able to end up taking the lead. Team Fantax in the lead over Team Milo by just a little bit. Snipey, 64, comes in for segment 3 for Team Milo and Butterlord for Team Fantax. Absolutely insane DDD 100 from Snipey. You have to watch it. It will make you a million times better at the game. It was out of this world. I thought it was TAS. I was like, what is happening?
Okay, misses the coin, has to adjust.
What? What? What?
What?
What? Snipey! Oh my goodness, the side flip, wall kick, jump dive, the triple jump.
Oh my lord.
Snipey, the absolute
That
madman.
was so sick.
What?
Oh, what? Who was that?
Kicking the wall and then sliding on the
Sliding.
side. Snipey breaking the meta.
Oh my lord.
Our eyes, can we get some clocks?
He just gained on Butterlord? Yeah, I want to see some clocks.
But he choked the triple jump dive to get this to the 8th red. The final red, many times, falling in the water. Also fell in the water, getting to the red coin star, leaving him with not a lot of time saved from the TDD 100. Some very questionable camera angles from Snipey. It looked like he was flexing at first, and then it just straight up looked like some I mean, it looked like some stuff was going on. It was very strange camera angles. Definitely didn't help him. Missed early Ellies. But what are you gonna do? Butterlord had a pretty decent fire C. I don't believe he got lava boost. BOB went pretty alright for both of them though, and it was pretty close going upstairs, less than 20 seconds apart with Team Fantax in the lead. Gothic Logic, leaderboard master, RuneScape god, just maxing out all of his skills in RuneScape. Oh my goodness. Versus Pete for Team Fantax going into segment 4. Gothic brings it back. Gothic kicked it into high gear, knew what he had to do. Pete had a little bit of trouble in TTM, but other than that, it was pretty solid. And Team Milo ultimately took the lead going into segment 5, where Custom comes in for Team Milo and Fantax coming in for his team. Tippy was pretty wild. Custom died in TTC, which tied up the game, lost the lead for his team. They were tied up. Again, he falls once again in a similar way in TTC 100, which ultimately allows Team Fantax to take the lead. Spaghetti noodles at this point all over. Raviolis. Fantax died after messing up the triple jump wall kick. Custom's Rainbow Ride Spaghetti gives Fantax the lead out of Rainbow Ride. I'm not sure what was happening. Custom must have been very nervous. I believe he was at the end there. And ultimately, Team Fantax took it in Sky. Fantax was able to stay consistent, keep his eyes on the prize, netting them the win, advancing them on to semifinals. And finally, Game 4 of this, the final game of round 1, Team Cheese versus Team Blue Bob. J Mill was on for Team Cheese, and Kopitz was on for Team Blue Bob. Kopitz making another appearance. He's filling in for Mini Corey. J Mill had a couple of hiccups here, and Kopitz was able to accelerate past him, but Kopitz's stream went offline due to a power outage. Didn't save it all. The race continued. Chubby took over in segment 2 for Team Cheese and Zarflon for Team Blue Bob. Zarflon had a 15-second lead because that was the lead that Kopitz had before the power outage. And Chubby had a lot of mistakes. Died at the end of SSL Reds. He also fell down in the red coin room in HMC, but he was still managed to get the Toxic Mace BLJ. So what a nutty guy, to say the least. Absolute madman, an absolute unit.
Ooh, definitely struggling.
Oh, Chubby, did he do the HMC BLJ? Insane plays from this man.
Zarflon, overall, though, much more consistent, able to keep his head on straight. Only died in SSL before Topless, which made him spawn in the pyramid again. Not a huge time loss. Zarflon giving Team Blue Bob a solid lead going into segment 3. Retro taking over for Team Cheese and Heisenberger for Team Bob. Retro was just Mr. Spaghetti Noodle Man. His clock was not tick-tocking, to say the least. BBH, DD100, and BOB gave him a run for his money, ultimately giving Heisenberger a lead. Heisenberger playing very solid, consistent gameplay, ultimately leaving them with the lead into segment 4. Super Viper took over for Team Cheese, and RWBY taking over for Team Blue Bob. Viper had a couple of wet dry world hiccups. Triple jump wall kick and 100 coin gave him a little bit of a bop, but he's able to get past it. Sorry also had a couple of, moments of despair in THI and TTM, but was still able to keep the lead for Team Blue Bob. But ultimately, the captains faced off in segment 5, Cheese for Team Cheese and Blue Bob for Team Blue Bob. Both captains with a solid SL. Cheese was slowly catching up with his spicy movement. As we all know, he's a very fast man. And the only really real mistake from Cheese was missing a Lakitu bounce. Blue Bob didn't really fail much, though, until throws. Kept it pretty consistent, but the throws he kind of threw, to say the least. Missed 4 throws. Still got the win. Cheese able to catch up quite a bit, but the lead was just too strong. Not enough for Cheese to bring it back. And that's it.
He's very experienced. He only missed like one more time maximum. It looks good.
That's
and
4. That's 4. I'm getting a bit scared now, I'll be honest. Like, he's still quite a ways off.
Nah, but... he's good. He's good. He's good. You're good. You're good.
Nice.
Okay, he's good. Okay.
There it is. I was getting scared for a moment there.
Yeah,
but...
chat, definitely, definitely sigh of relief for all the soap boys,
He might have had a bit of a rough ending, but he played well enough all the way through Tippy Top there to maintain a huge lead, so you got to give it to him.
So what that means is that coming up next, we are going to have 2 semifinal games. Team D Whatever versus Team Ouija, and Team Blue Bob versus Team Fantax, where ultimately the winners of those semifinals will meet in grand finals. Winner of that gets $500, and the loser gets $200. It's going to be crazy. I'll be there. I'll be commentating, and you guys should check it out. More info to come. Make sure to follow the Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got hot videos like this coming out all the time for all the events. GSA, a lot of people working around the clock. Very passionate. It's going to be dope. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much. Once again, Big Simp out. Peace. Love you. Bye.